Valeria is back and they're giving us a board game. Welcome to Margraves of Valeria. Hey, what's up? My name's Jimmy and welcome to the Board Game Closet. Today I'm excited to show you Margraves of Valeria. Now this was an email that I got a little while ago and they said, hey, we're coming out with a board game, Valeria, worker placement. And I like frantically started typing an email back and said, I want to check this game out because I love Valeria card kingdoms. And so when I thought that I would have the chance to play a board game version of that, I said, please let me check this game out. And so I'm excited to show it to you today. Now, if what you see today excites you at all, then go online, check out the Kickstarter, and get all of your questions answered. And if this video helps you make a decision in any way, then please put that in the comments along with any questions that you have. So let's dive into it, and then you get to decide. In Margraves of Valeria, you're going to be sending your Margrave to different locations on the board to gather resources, defeat monsters, and build towers. And how you do that is centered around these cards, these citizen cards that you have in your hand. You're going to be playing a card from your hand every single turn, and you have 4 options of things that you can do with these cards. Each one of the cards has a power text on the bottom, and this is something awesome that you get to do. And as you gain more citizen cards into your hand, the things that they do become cool, and you create this great deck of cards in your hand. But sometimes with that power text, not only do you get to do something, but the other players are allowed to do something. And so that's an interesting decision because maybe you don't want them to do the thing that you're doing. So instead of doing the power text, you can activate these banners at the top. And this is something that only you get to do. And usually it's you get some kind of a resource, if that's strength or money, and then you are able to move your Margrave and a knight around the board. And so those are the 2 abilities that are on the card, either the power text or the banners. But instead of using those abilities, you could discard a card and do the build action. And that's how you're going to build a tower, a ward tower, throughout Valeria. And that's going to give you a couple things. You're going to get an instant bonus, some kind of a thing like money or resources or influence. And then you're also going to go up the influence track. There are 4 different tracks that you have to keep track of, 4 different guilds, and you're going to score victory points at the end of the game for that. But also, instead of just playing a card to build, you can play a card to recall all of your cards. So you're going to be doing this thing in the game where you're playing all of your cards and then you have to get them back into your hand. So very Century Spice Road feeling where you're kind of out of things to do. Now I have to call these cards back to my hand. So you're going to be traveling around the world getting all of these resources. There are, I think, 8 different locations in the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 locations on the board, and some of the locations just give you resources. You need magic, you got to go down there. You need wood, you got to go over there. You need stone, you got to come up here. So that's what those locations do. There's another location that allows you to buy more citizen cards. There's another location that introduces a shipping wheel, kind of this little shipping track. So you go over there and you discard resources from your board, and however many you discard is how far you move up the track. And so there are different things on here, like there's money, influence, and privilege tiles. Privilege tiles are these little tokens that you can get in the game that either give you an instant bonus or they give you these banners. And banners is a set collection idea. And so you're going to multiply them by themselves. So if you got 4 times 4, 16 points in the game. And so you're going to score points at the end of the game off of these banner tiles. Or it could just be something simple that you get. Like here, I'm going to get a strength and 4 money there. And then what about monsters? Let's talk about how you fight these monsters. On your player board, you have a strength track. And so the monster just simply tells me this is a 2 monster. So I've got 2 strength. So you pay the strength, kind of like a resource. Or instead of just using all of this, you can also use these little knights. So if there's a knight in the location where you're at, you can discard this dude. And now he goes to the knight's tomb, and that saves you from having to use all of your strength. Instead, now he does that for you. So I'm sorry, my knight friend, but you've sacrificed for the cause. And so he goes over here to this knight's tomb, which is a cool location on the board where once a row or a column is filled up, you get a bonus. And once all of the spaces have been filled, the knight's tomb is emptied, and these knights are now available to be used again in the game. So lots of limits on the resources in this game. Even the knight knights that are there. And so that's kind of cool. And another great thing is knights, when they're here on your board, they belong to you. Nobody can use them. But once you place a knight out onto this board, now anybody has access to be able to move this guy around and make use of him. So that's a really cool aspect of he's yours until he's not. Now, what do I like about this game? It is not a complicated game. It's actually pretty easy to teach, but there's a number of things going on. I talked about the tomb and the wheel and the monsters you have to fight and the influence track, and you got to get rid of these and limits on resources, all that kind of stuff. So there's a number of things going on, but it's not hard to teach. It's actually pretty easy to teach to people. And so I like that. And it's kind of in that medium, definitely in that medium weight range, kind of like Raiders of the North Sea, Orleans, kind of that realm of stuff. But you're fighting monsters and you're building up your kingdom and getting resources. And so if you like that, if you like card abilities that you get to play out and making that tough decision of, do I activate my banner here and move my Margrave and knights around to get resources, or do I do this cool thing that gives me a thing and I can slay a monster and all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting, some of the things that you have to do, but it's not that complicated, and I think it plays pretty quick, and I really liked it. So if what I said helped you make a decision on backing the Kickstarter at all, let me know that in the comments. If you have any questions, I'll try to do my best to answer those. And as always, thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time on the Board Game Closet.